In this video, I'm going to do an unboxing, actually an unbagging and then unboxing of something I'm actually pretty excited about. Now, I was on the ground floor with Android. I bought the G1 on day one. In fact, I jumped from the network that had the best coverage here in the United States, which was Verizon, to the company that had the least coverage in the United States, which was T-Mobile, just so I could get my hands on the G1 on day one. Well, that was several years ago, even before this YouTube channel started. But in this video, I'm going to do an unboxing of the Firefox OS phone, the ZTE Open. So let's get to it. Now, I assume I'm going to need my trusty cutter because there's a box in here, but we're going to start with the bag. So let's cut this open here. And I'm really excited to try this out. So this is not a beast of a phone. Wow, there's actually a 4 gigabyte micro SD card that must have slipped out of the box somehow, but it was included with this auction. Now, I got this from eBay, and the manufacturer ZTE was running a special where they actually put up 985 of these units for $79.99 with free shipping. Now, this is a 3G device, and as I said, it runs Firefox OS, which I'm anxious to try out. Now, I don't have any expectations that this is going to be better than my Android phone, my Nexus 4. But I do love new operating systems, I like variety, and I like to try out different things. And those of you who are familiar with my channel can probably gather that. So this device comes manufacturer unlocked, and it doesn't have a contract associated with it, so hopefully I'll be able to use my Straight Talk SIM on it. So let's take a quick tour around the box. Very plain looking box. You see ZTE Open, that's the name of the phone. You have ZTE Open on the left side and ZTE Open on the right side as well. On the back, some more of that, and up here as well. So let's slide this out and you get a better idea of what the phone looks like. Now this comes in orange, and that's of course Firefox's color. And that was a special they were running on eBay where you could get this phone for $80 with the special orange color here. So let's open this up. I'm going to need my trusty cutter to break the seal here. I knew that would come in handy. There we go. And let's open this up for the first time. Here's the phone. And we'll get to that in a second. Nice little compact size. Also in the box you get some earbuds with what looks like a microphone attached here with a control here. There you go. I'm not much of an earphone guy, except if I'm at the gym. Here's the USB charging cord, and here is the wall plug. Nice size wall plug, not too big, and then you have your connector pushed off to the side there. So that's actually pretty nice. Get a closer look at that. And here we go, here's the battery, and this is a 1200 milliamp battery. Let's put that to the side, and down here you have some documentation. ZTE is a Chinese company, and it actually shows you a little bit here how to use Firefox OS to open notifications. It looks like it has a notification drawer similar to Android, and you have some safety information there. So let's put all this to the side. I might keep this out just in case I need a little bit of little tips here and there on how to use the OS. And let's get to the main event here. Now, before I open the phone up, I just wanted to give you a size comparison with the Nexus 4. The Nexus 4 is, of course, a 4.7-inch screen, and the ZTE Open is a 3.5-inch TFT 320 by 480 pixel screen. So the resolution is much less on this device than it is on the Nexus 4. But again, I don't have high expectations. This is not a high-end handset. It's actually made, Firefox OS is actually made for the lower end. And it's a very lightweight OS, so it can run on low-end hardware. And that's actually very cool. So before I take it out of the plastic, let me just go through some of the specs. The CPU is a single-core 1 GHz Cortex-A5 Qualcomm MSM 7225A Snapdragon processor. It has an Arduino 200 GPU in it, and of course it's running Firefox OS. It has 512 megabytes of ROM and 256 megabytes of RAM. It supports micro SD cards, and of course I got a 4 gigabyte micro SD card with it, but it does support up to 32 gigabytes of expandable memory. It's 3G and 2G compatible, and the 3G bands that it's compatible with are HSDPA 850 and 1900. It has 802.11b, G, and N Wi-Fi incorporated into it, and it has a rear-facing camera back here, obviously, on the rear, which is 3.1 megapixels. It does not have a front-facing camera. So let's get this out of the bag here. Oh, let's keep that on for now. All right, so this is what the phone looks like, and right now it's fairly light. Of course, it doesn't have the battery in it. Let's pull this protective coating off of the screen here so you can see what the phone looks like. Now, you can probably make out the orange part is actually pretty cool. It's almost like a pearly orange, and it's a nice refreshing look on a phone because a lot of phones these days are just black slabs. So it gives a little bit of character to this phone. And here, let's see from the side view here. It is a little thicker than a lot of phones on the market today, but not by any means chunky or large. So up top here you have your ZTE branding. You have a glass face here, probably not Gorilla Glass, so you don't want to drop this or anything. Of course, you always don't want to drop your phone if you can help it. Up here you have your earpiece. You have what looks like a home button down here, and that's pretty much the face of the phone. On the right side, you don't have anything. Now, this, I'm just trying to feel what kind of plastic this is. It's just a glossy plastic along the rim here. On the bottom, you have your charging port here, which looks like it's micro USB. And then of course over here you have your microphone, little pinhole there, if you can make that out. On the left side of the phone here you have a volume rocker that you can see there. And on the top of the phone you have your power button and then your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. Now the back of the phone here, you have of course your orange color here. You have your Firefox OS branding on the bottom. You have your ZTE branding here. You have your 3.15 megapixel camera here. And then this appears to be probably a speaker here, but we'll check that out. Now this orange plastic is slightly rubberized. I wouldn't call it necessarily rubberized, but it does have a slightly soft touch rubberized feel to it. And I actually like the look of this phone. Now the back of the phone pops off here, so let's put the battery in. So here's the inside of the phone. It doesn't come with a piece of paper here. I just put that there to cover up the IMEI number. But you'll see that it takes a full-size SIM card here, and then this is an area for your micro SD expansion. And let's see. There we go. Let's put this in. This is just a cage for it, and it shifts. If you push it towards me here, if you push it towards the left, your left, it locks it in. You push it towards the right, it unlocks it, and then you can pull the cage up. Let me take the included 4 gigabyte high capacity micro SD card, put it in there, and then lock it down. There we go. I don't have a SIM for this yet, but I will be putting my Straight Talk SIM in here, and I'm probably going to be needing an adapter because the one I have in there is a micro SIM. So let me put the battery in here, and this is what it looks like when you put the battery in. And let me take that piece of paper out, and we're going to fire up this phone for the very first time. Hopefully this battery has a little bit of a charge on it. And that's what the inside of the back cover looks like. Snap this back into place. Okay, so the back is on and we're ready to go. I'm going to fire this thing up for the very first time. So let me press the power button here. Get a little vibration. You see the Firefox OS splash screen and you have a red light up there. You have a Firefox there. And this is actually pretty cool. The tail is on fire and animated, as you probably can see. Yeah, you can see that. And here we go. There we go. So that's the ZTE Open running Firefox OS. Join me in my next video when I walk you through the setup process on this phone. So as always, if you like what you see, please subscribe. If you want to help out my channel, give me a thumbs up or favorite this video, and I'll see you guys next time.